Grand Theft Auto 5 on an iPhone sounds slightly ridiculous, but it's absolutely possible. There's no native iOS or iPadOS version of GTA 5, and there isn't some magical local workaround waiting in the shadows, so on Apple devices the realistic route is cloud gaming. In this video, I'll show you the setup that makes the most sense, then break down what GTA 5 should feel like over the cloud on iPhone and iPad, plus the settings tweaks that help it look cleaner and respond better. Boosteroid is the first and simplest option. It's a bring-your-own-games cloud service. You own the game on Steam, Epic, or Rockstar, and Boosteroid runs it on their machines and streams it to your device. To start playing, you just create an account or sign up with Google, pick a subscription plan, and search for the game. Then you just click play for the version of the game that you own, enter your store logins, and you're in camp. If you want tap and play and nothing else, Boosteroid is where I'd start. On Boosteroid, GTA 5 translates fairly well to iPhone and iPad, with a couple of important caveats. Because the game mixes driving, shooting, traffic, weather, and lots of fast camera movement, it's more demanding on a stream than something slower and more cinematic. The good news is that on a phone or small tablet, a stable 1080p feed can still look very convincing, and in many scenes it should feel surprisingly close to console quality. The weaker spots are high-speed driving, dense traffic, dark night scenes, foliage, and any moment where the camera swings around too fast. As far as latency is concerned, I'd put GTA 5 in the medium sensitivity zone. It is not a brutally precise parry game, but it does care about delay more than a slow RPG, especially once driving and gunfights enter the chat. In other words, while it's playable over a slower connection with a bit more lag, I wouldn't recommend it here. If you want to actually enjoy yourself, use a stable 5G Wi-Fi, preferably without draining its bandwidth elsewhere. For the best results, start with 1080p at 60 frames per second and enable AV1 in your Boosteroid profile settings. That should keep the image cleaner at the same bitrate, but on iOS, the AV1 path depends on the model of your iPhone. Only iPhone 15 and newer have access to it. Inside the actual game, turn off motion blur and depth of field effects first, then keep grass and extended distance settings sensible instead of cranking them to the moon, because those details can make a stream break into shimmer and compression mush. And in the controls, lower dead zones slightly, raise look sensitivity a little, and keep aim assist or lock on enabled so the game feels snappier on a handheld. Now here are some alternative cloud solutions that also support this game. Xbox Cloud Gaming is a catalog service. You stream what's in Microsoft's cloud library instead of logging into Steam. On iOS, it's typically used through a browser, and full access generally requires Game Pass. The main minus of xCloud is its region availability. This is one of the more region-dependent services, so if you aren't in a select few countries, you just won't have access to it. Shadow PC is the next step up, a full Windows desktop in the cloud you can open from an iPhone or iPad. You install your launchers and the game like you are on a normal PC, then stream the desktop back. It's very flexible and works for lots of games and apps, but it costs more than Boosteroid and you have to look after that virtual Windows box. AirGPU is similar but pay per hour instead of a flat sub. You rent a virtual gaming PC, install the game, and connect from iOS with a client like Moonlight. Great if you only play occasionally, but if you play a lot, the hourly and storage costs add up fast. Ultimately, our main choice for this game remains Boosteroid. Whichever cloud route you choose, playing PC games with touch controls is mostly misery. We strongly recommend using a controller, and there's no shortage of controllers to use with an iPhone. My recommendation is getting a telescopic controller like a Backbone one or a Razer Kishi that turns your phone into a handheld, but you can also go with a full-size Bluetooth controller, especially if you want to AirPlay your phone's screen onto your TV. A quick side note here, if you do go for a telescopic controller, pay attention to compatibility. For iPhone 15 or newer, use USB-C controllers that explicitly list iPhone support. On iPhone 14 or older, you need Lightning models like Backbone 1 Lightning or Razer Kishi V2. Also avoid older Android-only USB-C grips. They may plug in, but many simply don't work properly with iOS. Now for the TV streaming option, if you'd rather play on a big screen, you can mirror your device with AirPlay to an AirPlay-compatible TV. For the lowest lag, plug your iPhone or iPad directly into the TV with a USB-C or Lightning to HDMI adapter and use your controller as normal. So on iOS, playing this game basically comes down to picking a cloud service that fits your budget and patience level, pairing a decent controller, and making sure your Wi-Fi is solid. And if you also have a Mac and want to play the game there too, check out the video that will now appear on your screen to view the options available there.